Hello and welcome. It's a great opportunity for me to be here with you again. I thank God for this opportunity for us to learn and share and grow. And remember, all these videos are designed for us to improve our lives. The only way we can do that is by learning what to do, what not to do. There are endless amount of information that we need to learn to improve our lives. And I thank you for joining me. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like, share it. I would pretty much appreciate it very much if you did that. So that way we can continue to learn and grow together. Now, the question today is this: why did God create mankind? What for? What does he need that for? Does God need us? Well, we talked last time about what God is, at least to some degree. God has no need for us, none whatsoever. He's perfectly fine on his own. He's perfect on his own. So why would a being that is perfect want to create us? If you were God, would you create us? Would you create us if you were God? Well, let's look in a little bit more in depth why God wanted to create us. So the question is, first, let's see. Imagine a being, you're in a place. Now, again, you can't even not come close to understand who God is, but I'm giving you as much information for you to imagine in your mind what this must be like. Imagine you're in a place where it's all white. There's nothing. There's no object, nothing. All white. And you can walk and walk and walk and walk and walk for a million years and never come to an end. There is no such thing as an end. But it's all white. There's nothing but you. That's it. This is something like what God is like. There's nothing but you in that space. Okay? So now, why God wants to create us? What's the reason behind it? What's the logic? Does it even make sense? Because if we ourselves said we wouldn't do it, then why would God do it? So let's look into it a little bit. Well, God created, first, he created a bubble. He had to create a bubble in order to create all the entities that he have created in the creation, meaning heaven and earth, all the angels. So he had to create a bubble where he can put all of these creation into like almost a package, if you will. Okay? So that has to be done first. Then he had to create, then after that, he created Adam. Now the question is, why, again, he wants to create man? What's the reason? Well, the reason is because God wants to give us good. He wants to give us good. Think about a parent who works very hard to accumulate a huge amount of wealth. What is he going to do with all that wealth? Why is he generating so much wealth? Why is he working so hard? Because he wants to leave it behind for someone that he loves. He wants to leave it behind for his offspring, for his children. Because then all that wealth is useless. It's useless. So God wanted to bestow upon us good. He wanted to give us good. The question is, the first thing was, he wants to give us good. And the second thing is, what is that good? What is it really? That good is God himself. We'll get to that, what that means. That's what that good is. That good is God himself. And the third thing, he could give it to us as a gift. He say, here, I'm going to give it to you. But God says no, because we talk about what's called the bread of shame. When something is given to you, you did not earn it, you don't feel comfortable with it. You kind of feel a little bit, when you look at the person in the face, this person been helping you, giving you, you're kind of ashamed to look at this person straight in the face. You don't feel like a man in a sense, because you feel like you're beneath him because he's been helping you. You can't stand on your own 2 feet. So it's kind of give you a little bit kind of an uncomfortable feeling, if you will, being around this person. So again, the bread of shame. This is where this is coming from, because you didn't really earn it. So God says, since I don't want you to give it to you as a gift, so I want you to earn this goodness, which is me, to experience me. That's what he wants you. That's the greatest good there is. There is nothing else. And now, to explain what this good is, imagine this for a minute. Imagine you take all the people who ever lived, everybody you can think of who ever lived in the past, and all the people that's living today, and all the people that's going to live in the future, and you take all the positive experience, all the great experience they ever had, all the good feelings, just the good feelings, all of it. You put all these people feeling into a bottle, that is nothing compared to what it feels like to experience God, okay? To experience the pleasure of God. Think about it, all the pleasure every human being ever had in this earth, past, present, and future, and you put all that into a bottle, all that pleasure into a bottle, it's nothing compared to experiencing God. And that's what he wants to give you. He wants to give you everybody pleasure that everybody has ever had. He wants you to have that pleasure, which is him. Now, he doesn't want to just give it to you like this. He wants you to earn it, to work for it. Okay, meaning that whatever, it's like going to a bank, right? You have a bank account, and what you put in is what you get out, right? What you put in. So the effort you put into putting money in the bank is what you're going to get out. So the more you put towards trying to find God is what the amount of pleasure you're going to get in return. Now, imagine this now. Imagine you are walking down the street and there's this armored truck parked on the side in front of the bank. And the driver said, listen, could you please help me bring all this gold into the bank, into the vault, because I don't have anyone with me. And when we're done, I'll pay you for it. I promise I'll pay you a good wage for this. And you're not doing anything. You say, okay, I'll help you. So you help this guy, you're moving the gold in and out of the truck into the vault. Now, after an hour of moving all this money, you're done. You're tired, you're done. Now you're ready to get paid. And you tell the driver of this armored truck, okay, I'm done. It's been an hour, I'm ready for you to pay me. And he says, okay, come with me. Now he walks with you back inside the bank into the vault. And he says, show me all the bags you brought into this vault. So you point out on the corner, say over there. He said, all that's what you brought in? You said, yes. He said, okay, that is all yours. That is your payment. That's your payment. And this is what God wants to do for us. This is what he wants, because that's the effort you putting in that's going to be your payment. The effort you put to finding who God is your payment. So the more you put in, the more you're going to get, like a bank account. Now, how do we know this? This experience we're talking about, this great amount, unexplainable pleasure. Well, what is called Mountain Torah, when God gave the Jews the Bible, remember, God spoke to the people. When God spoke to the people, the moment God spoke, everybody died instantly. They explode, meaning that their soul jumped out of their body to grab on to God. It was like a magnet. The moment God spoke, they exploded, everybody exploded, and they gravitated to God because the pleasure was so incredible. There was nothing left except to die, to get to God. So they literally died. And God spoke twice. Both times the people exploded, died, and the soul gravitated to God. After the second time, God revived these people. Remember, after they died, he revived them, brought them back to life. And the people said, no more. We can't handle this. Too much. Moses, we don't want to hear from God directly. We want you to go up and talk to God, and whatever he says, we will do. Because the experience was overwhelming. Again, it led to death. So this is something that's very hard to understand, how much this pleasure means, what this pleasure or this reward is, because that's what he wants to give us. Think about it. God wants to give you endless amount of pleasure for your reward. For what? For seeking him. And what is the purpose of this? Because God says, when you are seeking me, you are refining yourself. You're changing. You're becoming a better person. And the better you become, the more you can see. The more you can see, the more you want. That's the way it works with God. The more you learn about God, the more you can see. The more you can see how he's worked in your life, the more you want him in your life. So you want more because it feels good in a sense, or if you had a great dinner, it tastes so good, you want more. And this is God. The more you know of him, the more you're going to want him. So again, the entire purpose was to give mankind the ultimate pleasure, meaning that we can't even imagine what that pleasure means. But I just gave you a scenario. Again, imagine you took every human being's pleasure who ever live, and people who died, and people who live today, people who will live in the future. You take all of these people pleasure, all the pleasure they ever had, whatever that pleasure was, whether it was sexually, whether it was money, whether it was food, whatever that pleasure was, you take all that, you put into a bottle, and that is nothing compared to what he has for you. This is the goal, the purpose of God. But the only way to get this pleasure, this reward, you have to work to seek him. It's like the man in the bank. The more he worked, this is what he got in return. The more you put in the bank is what you're going to get. So again, whatever you put, it's called measure for measure. Okay? So if you put 50% in, you only can get out 50%. You put 75% in, you're going to get 75%. So whatever percent you put in and seeking God, working toward to see and to learn and to gravitate and get close to him is what your reward is going to be. You see? So your reward is based on your effort. That pleasure, that reward that's there for you is based on your effort. This is the purpose of the creation of mankind. This is why man was created, because God wants to give you unlimited pleasure for eternity. So if you can understand that, you see how awesome of a God we have. This is all he wants for us, is to give us unlimited pleasure for eternity. Yes, that's the goal. That's the end game. I thank you for joining me. Please subscribe. Again, tune in next time so we can continue to learn, to see what all this creation is about. Because as we learn, our lives are going to get better. Okay? Our lives will get better because we know more and we make less mistakes, and we can direct our lives in a direction that we want to go, that's going to be fruitful for us, also for our children. We can also educate and guide our children when they come to us, because they're going to have questions. But by us learning together, you will have the answers to help your children move in the positive direction. Thank you again. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.